Okay, so let's take a look at this question here, and there's an important property here that is taught in geometry, but then usually we forget about it afterwards. And that property is what is the relationship between, I guess I'll call this x, and we'll call this y. So what is the relationship between x and y? Well, a kind of intuitive way of thinking about this is to say, well, one of these is going to be twice the other or half the other, right? Seems like they're if this is where the radius is, a point off here, seems like two times as way, right? And then the way to think about this is to simply think to yourself, if you're in a movie, so you're watching a movie, right? It's opening night. The only sorry about that. The only seat available is right in front, right? So what are you going to end up doing? You're going to end up tilting your head back. Let me actually redraw this guy. You're going to end up tilting your head back because you're so close, right? You're tilting your head back to see the movie because you're so close, right? Then you go see a movie that's been out for 4 weeks, right? You decide you can sit wherever you want. You decide to sit all the way in the back. You have zero tilting, right? So the bigger angle is created the closer you are, right? Just think if that was an angle there, right? As it gets closer and closer, right, the angle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So now that we can see that, we know that the closer you are, the bigger you are. Then what can I say about angle x versus angle y? Well, what we can say is that angle x is twice as big as y. So why don't I, instead of calling it y, I'm actually going to call this x. So what is this? Oops. What does this have to be here? Well, this is twice as much, right? So it's 2x. So in this picture here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is, now this is called x, so I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to just say that this part here is half x. So this angle right here is going to be half x. So now we can tackle the problem. So what do? So now, if this piece here is x, if we go all the way around, that's a circle, so that's 360 degrees. So just, make it clear here, just this piece right here is nothing more than 360 minus x. So what do I have now? Well, the other big thing here is to realize is that you have one side here, 2, 3, 4. So you actually have a quadrilateral. I know this looks kind of like a triangle, but it's a quadrilateral, which means the angles add up to 360. So I can say 360 equals to 1/2 x plus 360 minus x plus 20 plus 20. So all I'm saying is that this plus this plus this plus this is 360. Let's clean it up. So 360 and 360 go away. This is going to give me 40. These are going to give me negative 1/2. Just think, if you have 0.5 minus 1, you have negative 0.5. So I have negative 1/2 x plus 40. I'm going to add 1/2 equals 0. Sorry, I should go back and include that there. So now I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides. So 1/2 x equals 40. To get rid of the fraction, we multiply by the denominator, so times 2 times 2. So x is 80. And there's my answer.